Hello and good evening. Welcome to the No Exit Experience. I'm Jason. To my left is Vanessa. Got Richard. Got Brian, the Prez. Got Tony over yonder with his toy, and Tom on the keys.
What the heck is that? That's black. Metallica, fade to black.
And so the thesis of the No Exit Experience is
Where's Tony?
That's that way. Yeah, where's Tony?
where.
He's up here in this
He's in the
room.
cosmic space pouch.
Well, let me talk. Okay, so first it'll be in French, and then it will be in English, so you can understand it. Unless you speak French, then you can understand it up front. Alors, c'est l'enfer. Je n'aurais jamais cru. Tout te souviens de tout ce qu'on nous a raconté sur la chambre de torture, le feu et le soufre, le mar brûlant, des histoires de bonnes femmes. Pas besoin de te soigner chauffés en rouge. L'enfer, c'est les autres. So this is hell. I'd never have believed it. You remember all we were told about the torture chambers, the fire and brimstone, the burning marrow? Old wives' tales. There's no need for red hot pokers. Hell is other people.
And you're all going to learn that soon enough.
What we want, people at home that are viewing, if you're viewing, we welcome your comments. Please give us a topic, and we'll chew it up like an old piece of beef and spit it out like a...
Like a steak bite from Arby's?
I ate them. I ate them.
How are those things? Are they like rubber?
Any good?
No, they were overspiced, but they were edible. But they weren't. It's not steaky. It's spicy, and so it's not like medium rare porterhouse. Not that I'm hungry. Okay, so do we have a first topic this evening?
I have one. Or do you want to do
You
it?
go on.
There's a whole industry. I'm gonna make a statement, and then you have to tell me if this is a true or false statement. Ready?
Go.
There's a whole industry catering to people who want to escape their meaningless lives. Meaninglessness is a somewhat ironic byproduct of a civilization that is richer than ever before, with unprecedented options and social mobility.
I don't think there's unprecedented options.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, you got to be turned up.
Yeah, I don't hear me. No, it's not you.
No, it's the engineer.
It's
Okay.
digital.
Is he running on a train?
I think that now I can hear myself. Okay, so now I think that it's not true that you have unlimited social mobility.
That's true. You don't. That is not true.
Well, think about ancestry, and they say you're from the
Pleiadians?
you're from the Wales, or you're from Swabia, or
Sirius?
you're from Eastern Germany, or you're from Siberia. But that's the whole thing. Now people can go all over. Like every time you see a white woman who has a Chinese name because she married an Asian fellow, that throws that whole ancestry thing on its head, because people never. There was a stat. I can't find it again. But it was 90% of Americans have never been more than 50 miles from where they grew up more than once in their life. Mm-hmm. So that maintains that. But if you, because of the ubiquity of electronics, you can meet somebody, who's on the other side of the country or in another nation. There was a guy whose call sign was Gator. That he was one of the TAC officers when I was at VMI. He was a Navy guy, and Gator was just all rules, But his wife was Australian because he met her when he was down in Brisbane. So.
Is there a crisis of meaninglessness in our society?
It's intrinsic. My opinion is it's intrinsic. The meaninglessness is something you feel yourself. And so that's your own mission you have to go through, because I can't give you meaning.
Are there more people that are feeling meaningless now than ever before?
I would say that.
I think so, because everyone's so wrapped up in social media and YouTube and this and that. The reality is right in front of them. But, you see them walking on their phone, looking at their screen.
What is reality?
So what is reality? What you're watching on the phone all the time, or what's actually in front of you?
And if it's not happening
Well
to them,
said.
it's not happening.
And if it's not
what
happening,
did Tony
it's not
just say?
happening.
Turn Tony up.
Continue, Tony.
Basically, most people subscribe to the edge that if it's not happening to them, then it's not happening.
Wow.
Well, yeah, it's the keeping up with the Joneses, that somebody somewhere else is always going to be
You
a
have 4
better
seconds
basketball
left.
player or football player, or no. If you were listening earlier, we said we could still chew up the topic after the timer goes. but that's the thing that when you expand the network, it's like the star quarterback. He's the best athlete in his school, and he goes to university. Now he's the third string, and he might not even make a team. So that's why the more meaningless, the more we're connected is, the ubiquity of connection also leads to the more meaningless, because you realize that there's a whole bunch of people just like you, which should give you some meaning in and of itself.
Right.
Wow.
Realizing that it's your own culture. And you know who gets into that are the populists. That's why Dumb Donnie could say whatever he wants, and he gets white people that are conservative, just by being rural, and he gets them all together. They're the unspoken plurality.
Mm-hmm. Hey, do we want to get into Dumb Donnie now?
Can we get into a different topic? first,
No,
Alex?
no, he's destroying the White House. Look at that. What do you have to say about that?
I do have
Well-
questions about that because
That can't be real.
That's real. That's a real photo.
Yeah.
He's he's destroying the East Wing for
Well, they destroyed it. And
he already destroyed it, for his ballroom.
And what?
His ballroom's always bouncing,
And
his
it'll be-
ballroom's always full, and
And when it's done,
Epstein always comes and comes again.
it'll be bigger than the main White
Yeah,
House.
almost twice as large. 55,000 square feet for the White House, 90,000 square feet for the ballroom.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what's the biggest boner about it? He's going to name it after himself.
Yeah.
Here's another thing. since
You
we live
mentioned
in
twice.
since we live in an era of conspiracy theories and rumor, which
Yeah.
the president, he often fosters that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I've heard.
Yeah. People are talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are talking.
So there's a rumor going around that when the Louvre got the crown was stolen because Trump hired people to steal it, and when the ballroom opens, he's going to crown himself with it.
Wow.
Why would I be surprised?
Right.
Because there's laws that have to be done and reviews that have to be done, and also in the city of the District of Columbia, I wanted building inspectors to show up and say, "Where's your permit?" And building inspectors they're the last step. He can't say, "I'm the president, keep tearing it down." But nobody does anything because they're all cowering. Like, I'm going to ding my congressman, Nick Langworthless. I said that Langworthless never had a real job. No, he started a polling agency, but he's been a perennial politician. Langworthless, he tacitly supports pedophiles because he won't sign the Massey discharge petition because he said it will expose private information about people underage. But you know what? There's a thing called redacting. And I expect these Epstein things to be all redacted, all out. It's gonna be like a word and a word and a word. He's just a toady for our piece of shit, criminal, pedophile, narcissistic, probably
who's a pedophile?
Trump.
Trump's a known pedophile.
And he's a convicted or a convicted felon and a sex abuser and just execrable human.
Maybe wonder what Langworth is hiding.
What are the Democratic Party fighting for?
Nothing. They are disparate. They're the worst example of an opposition you've ever seen.
Oh, that brings up something I have to say.
Where's my where?
They're useless. The Democrats and the politicians are more worthless than the pop stars. Okay, Sabrina Carpenter, she's giving money to the Transgender Law Center. She's doing more for people than the politicians are.
Okay, go to my one about.
And she's
Go
totally
to mine
hot.
for the
Which one you want?
no the one about the No Kings and the administration, or his.
That would be number 21, Tom.
This one?
No.
Maybe Tom needs to refresh
That
the
one.
screen because you sent it to me at the last minute, Jason.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't see it.
My son's watching the show right now.
How old is he?
16.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it there, Tom?
Now, speaking of the Epstein thing, we got another person coming in now.
I can guess.
Mr. Walker.
Sleepy James?
Making a dramatic entrance. You
So
should turn the
speak-
light on.
There he is.
Oh, Mr. Monaco, the great Buddha has arrived.
So,
Oh, yeah.
I just came in to say happy birthday to Richard.
so the short story is, anybody who's able to make a difference will be killed by society, whether he's Jesus or he's Dr. King or he's Gandhi.
Right.
So that's. We'll move on.
Mr. Jason, is it possible that the reason that there's so much distraction away from the Epstein files is because when Trump was in charge of the Miss America pageant, he was funneling Epstein teenage girls?
Oh, I didn't know that, because I know that he was such a scumbag. He would walk into the dressing room while they're all half naked.
Yeah.
Or all naked.
Oh, dog dick.
Surprise, surprise.
All right, well, let's get some more topics going because it's going nowhere slow right now.
you're
Okay,
saying
give
that-
your topic
you're
now.
You're saying that the Democratic Party is the worst opposition party ever. But Vanessa talked about the Libertarian Party, and we want to talk about some of the stuff that they stand for that could be more appropriate for our nation to follow as an opposition to the Republican Party.
Yeah, it's actually, libertarians are more about true freedom and actual small government and leaving people alone. MAGA is the biggest of big government there's ever been. And those people claim to want small government, but it's really huge, intrusive government. Look at the crap that they're doing.
And Doge did not save any money. Zero.
No.
They didn't save any money. And this next step after libertarian is anarchy.
Yes.
So that's why people that bitch about the police bitch the most when they don't come immediately. They bitch about it until they need them.
Wait, what's that about
nature.
coming immediately?
Great Buddha.
Good thing I was crunching. I couldn't hear that because
If you have a government that's running properly, you can expect it to do 8 things.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
What? Restrict fun, and get rid of things you like and restrict fun.
no.
How about having good sanitation so people aren't dying of cholera? Providing health care to all the citizens so you don't have pandemics. Free education so people are not walking around saying stupid things.
And
you
voting
know.
for Trump.
Stop interrupting.
And by stupid things, I mean Trump is the best president in the history of mankind because he got the vaccine out so quick. Oh, are you taking it? Oh, no, it was rushed.
And
Same person saying the same thing, see?
Right.
So
But
that's why you got to have education.
But Biden enforced people to have to get it in certain career types, like nurses. And I know a person that was fired from a place that I worked at because he wouldn't get the COVID shot.
Oh yeah, there's people who were fired because they wouldn't get the COVID vaccine, none of which worked, and they didn't have time to properly come up with anything that could work in that time period.
Well, if you look at the statistics,
It never worked.
all the people who took the COVID vaccine had a much reduced rate of dying from COVID than the people who didn't. I think the stats speak for themselves.
but you know,
Where are the
lies, damn
results?
lies, and statistics.
What?
Lies, damn lies, and statistics.
Well, if you're going to throw out statistics, you're not a doctor.
No. You know that Mark Twain said there's 3 kind of lies: lies, damn lies, and statistics.
Right.
In other words,
He's disparaging them.
but in reality, he's not, because that's the thing that people, even many lies have a core of truth that just gets distorted, and the statistics are right there, whether you like it or not. That's what it is. And you're right, but there were people that in their dying breath would say COVID doesn't exist and then expire.
Or there were people who were dying of COVID in the hospital on a ventilator saying, I was a fool. I didn't get the vaccine.
But that's one or the other. But there was people that were complete deniers, like the inveterate
The
Nazis
hen.
from World War II. That
But
they were
did I-
Nazis till the end.
Did any of you hear about the idea that 27% of the dead people that had taken the COVID shot had this white protein in their veins that could have been acting like blood clots and could have been the cause of their death? That had and people that didn't have COVID shots, none of the dead people had that protein in their system.
Well, also people with type A blood, they found were more likely to have more severe disease. I mean, that's what is it?
My father had before he had the vaccine. He was already immune compromised. He had COPD, a lot of health problems growing up from the military as he aged. He had the COVID vaccine, not saying it killed him, but 3 weeks later he passed away. Suddenly, he walked into the hospital to get his plasma infusion he got every month. And he was on a ventilator and getting dialysis and stuff from other complications. But the COVID vaccine,
Correlation does not imply causation.
Sure. True.
You know
Yes.
that if you happened to, if there is a thunderstorm and you go outside and die, you don't get struck by lightning.
Right.
But you go outside, there's a thunderstorm. Clearly, the thunderstorm killed you, even
Yeah.
though. So, I mean, you
What
said
I'm s-
several things: plasma, dialysis.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he would get plasma infusions every month his
Yeah.
whole life.
Yeah.
So, the once he had the vaccine, it like we feel like his immune system may have been weakened from it.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So because he was already compromised, not saying it killed him, but I'm sure it didn't help him at all.
Well, and that's DIC you're talking about. That's not unique at all. Disseminated intravascular coagulation is the blood vessels form rouleaus. They look like Rolos. They stack up, you know, and that makes it a mechanical block, and then the clot forms around that. So that's not anything new.
Yeah, but they said it was in the people that had COVID shots and not in the other ones.
You know what you don't find? Things you don't look for. People that didn't get a COVID shot, they're not looking at their blood.
They did look at their blood. They said the people that didn't.
You
take
sound
the-
like a conspiracy theorist now. It's science. It's science. DIC, look it up.
Here's what
DIC.
gets me though. Okay,
Then tell me where to look.
Go to Wikipedia. I mean,
No, Wikipedia is a bad site because people can put whatever they want there.
okay. What's our next topic?
Wait, I want
Tony,
to.
you
I
asked
want
Tony
to.
had something. So
Yeah, and after Tony, I want to say something.
real quick, what gets me though, okay, you had everybody there, everybody in the medical profession told, get the COVID shot or you're gone. One of my friends out in LA is a nurse, has been for years. She's one of the folks that got the COVID shot, did everything she was supposed to, kept going through the hell of it. She saw stuff you wouldn't even want to imagine. And what was her thanks? Less than 3 years later, they tried to take away all their health insurance, our Kaiser Permanente. They struck, they fought against it, but that was their thanks. Oh, hey, thanks for playing. Now we're going to try to take your health insurance.
I don't see how these two go together.
right,
How's that
right.
connected?
I'm just saying it's connected because, you know, yeah, you had to take it. You know, they said do it or you're gone.
Or you lose
do
your
it.
job.
Yeah, you do it, you keep your job, and you keep going, and you do things nobody else would do, and no, they thank you for saying, now we're going to try and take your health insurance. I'm just saying humans actually are the most parasitic thing of all.
That's true. There's only species that kill their own kind. Isn't that so?
And what kind of a giant douche does that?
Well, you never met a billionaire, did you? You never met a C-suite person, have you?
There's probably a billionaire who's behind that.
Well, Henry Kaiser was. He built 7,000 houses on the southeast corner of Oahu after World War
Wow.
II. That's why it's Hawaii Kai. The Kai is for
Yeah.
Kaiser.
Wow,
And
I never knew that.
Kaiser Steel, and he created the health plan that became so successful. It became the insurance company,
Wow.
and the initial thing, the steel plant died away.
Amazing.
So this is something I'd like to mention to the press. I heard an interesting exchange on national TV. A woman said to a medical researcher, she said, how do you explain the fact that of all the people who got the flu shot, the ones that were pregnant had the most children born with autism? And he gave a very good answer. He said, okay, so they got the flu shot, and some of them, their children had autism. What else happened when their child was born? Did the sun rise? Because if it did, then you could blame the sunrise on that. He said, whenever you start saying this happened before this, therefore this is the cause of this, you're falling into that sunrise problem,
Good.
which makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
Correlation does not imply causation.
I have to write that down.
Well, that's not me. That's,
No, but I like it.
That's been-
I've never heard it.
because it's like the decrease in piracy and the rise in the standard of living. Is it because we have less pirates is why we're more prosperous?
I mean,
Okay, next topic.
behind the
Miss
scenes, you
Sasha.
never
Oh yeah,
know.
time on Trump on the cover of Time. Well, back in 1939 that Hitler was the man of the year.
Yeah. Mhm.
Because when you see who makes the most news, well, in 1972 it could have been Charles Manson, and so it doesn't have to be good. Like Pol Pot, that's something to say if you kill 5 million people.
Manson was on
Yeah,
Tuesday's
and he was
Child.
protected by the CIA after he was overthrown.
Who it was?
Pol Pot.
Pol Pot, the
Yeah.
Khmer Rouge, and
Right. Cambodia.
Kampuchea, and so it's not always just good. You know what I mean? Like you can hear music that is execrably bad, that it's shit, and Vanessa says, "Oh, it's great." No, it isn't.
What
it's
are you talking
it's
about?
dissonant, and
What
it's
music?
poorly put together, and
What music are you talking about?
all these generic zeros that I don't know. what-
Sabrina Carpenter, we're gonna get into her now.
No, like a band like
Chapel Roan, she's giving
like-
money to trans youth organizations.
what like Hemorrhoid from 1995 or
I don't talk about that stuff
Spittle,
anymore.
not Saliva with Josie. What's his name? But
I know.
Spittle.
I'm a music historian. I know about all kinds of obscure music, and that's my thing.
Vanessa, who was Chappelle Rowan or whatever? that
Chapel
was?
Roan, she's
Yeah.
a pop star. You don't know who she
No,
is?
I don't.
I can't even name a song by her.
Pink
I don't-
Pony Club is a huge hit right now.
But
Yeah, I don't-
Wait, is that the one they play at those burlesque
that's-
shows? Oh God!
That's the one that the marching band does. That's real slow and dolorous, but Ryan loves it.
I don't.
Yeah, well, she's got a bunch of hit records.
Ryan who?
The guy who runs the sound at Milky's. Shouts out. Hey, look at this. We have, all right, so let's get into some mainstream pop music then. Sabrina Carpenter was just on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, I saw her.
And everyone's mad at her because she was singing in her underwear.
She always does.
She always does. But I'm saying that part of why they're attacking her, because they have to, they love to do that, has more to do with her politics. She's always on the right side of history. She's selecting the Transgender Law Center as a beneficiary for her tour. And rather than directly attack her for something like that, they're kind of going to come at her sideways for things like, oh, you're a whore because of the way you dress. And you know that's what they do.
Well,
And you know what's the thing about in rural America? They don't tell their kids about sex, and then they're surprised when their kid comes home pregnant.
yeah.
Now, there was a scandal about her saying F-bombs.
Oh yeah, she dropped
Yeah,
a couple.
Did you hear them?
No, they bleeped them out while she was singing her one song. They're in the lyrics.
Yeah, they have they put the 7-second timer in on Richard Pryor back in the 70s.
Hey, where's Tony? He's in the.
To censor it before it happens, right?
Yeah, and because I just fast forward through the music because most of them suck.
No, Sabrina Carpenter is a genius. Her pop music sensibility is phenomenal. Her lyrics are very witty, have a lot of double and even triple meanings. You should really listen to some of her music and watch her videos. Watch the fucking videos. They're phenomenal. They're top notch. They have great concepts, especially her new video for Tears. I sent that to you. Remember one with all the drag queens and stuff and the weird surreal things? It looked like a Fellini movie. That was very well done.
Now, is Sabrina Carpenter celebrating the sexuality of young women, or is she demeaning women by saying this is all you are, is a sex object?
Well, she's in control of it herself, so
Well, it's not. See, everything is 100 or 0 for Vanessa, and I say that there's numbers in between. There's shades of gray.
number
Has to be.
9.
There has
So
to be.
Number 9.
she could be
Number 9.
both at the same time. Stop that. She could be both at the same time because whether you like it or not, sex is a part of humanity, and that's one of the things that we do. This is our biggest gift and our curse.
Yeah.
And so to say blanket, it's all phenomenal, it's all perfect. That's not actually how it is. You know that
69? 69?
Me finding my
69?
Stop that.
Me finding my way through life with recovery from addiction and all that. I've learned that there's many levels to things. There's no 0 to 100. No, you have to. Okay, to walk a million miles, you have to take one step. Mm-hmm. You have to start with one step. So there's there can't be. There has to be in between.
And so it doesn't have to be on or off. She's one or the other.
You're
be
right.
both.
Everything is a spectrum. Yeah,
It's like
I'm glad that you all admit
can
that.
Can you curse a 20-year-old woman because she has a naturally big chest? That's what genetics gave her. You know, I mean, why you shouldn't vilify somebody for something they can't change, like the color of their eyes.
I guess if you had a Ouija
Vanessa's
board, you
very
might.
strong on that.
How about a magic 8-ball? It's a mystifying oracle.
No, let's go with the Ouija board.
Maybe, perhaps.
Okay.
Looks likely.
Next topic.
Definitely, maybe.
Yeah, definitely, maybe.
Okay,
Taco Bell.
Vanessa, do you have another topic?
I might. What do we want to get into? Oh, I don't know. Oh yeah, this one. This is a good one. Cisgender boy forced to play on girls' sports team because of birth certificate error. Okay, this boy, cisgender boy, was born, and they put an F on his original birth certificate, even though he's definitely not female. But because of the way the law is written, they're saying we have to go with your original unamended birth certificate. So they're forcing a genetic XY cisgender typical boy to play on the girls' team because of a clerical error on a birth certificate, and they're trying to.
Where and how old?
I think he was like 11.
Is this in the South or?
No, this is like Midwest.
Cisgender is
Cisgender is not
Like most of the people you see,
Also
That's your
called
typical
straight.
binary
straight.
Okay.
XY
Well, not his orientation.
which is about
that's what I
310
thought.
million people in the U.S.
breeders.
yeah.
Yeah, the people that denigrate straight people, that's really bad. That's bad form.
Yeah.
You're opposed to
started it.
denigrating straight people?
You shouldn't denigrate anybody. That's as bad as gay bashing.
Hey, how about
Just like
denigration over
condescending.
here?
I don't like that's.
Yeah, calling somebody a breeder is condescending. Well, guess what? I can breed and you can't. That's the opposite.
It's the
argument.
opposition.
privilege.
Yeah, exactly.
I had an interesting conversation with a trans person where they did exactly that. They were denigrating straight people, and I said, "You're hurting your cause." And they said, "Why?" I said, "You should be building a coalition. You shouldn't be separating people."
Oh yeah, divide and
Yeah,
conquer.
there's so much division in it. It's crazy. Just like race. I mean, it's everything's. Everyone's so separated.
That's by
and,
design, so you don't rise up against the 1% and the oligarchs.
So everyone's separated, and it's because everyone has opposing views. But it seems like more and more today, people are not agreeing on things. It's terrible.
Well, with this whole ICE thing, I know a guy online who's a pulmonologist in Tennessee. He's from the Dominican Republic, but he has the big cut into the accent, and that's how he talks.
Yeah,
and, he's brown. He is. He's unmistakably brown, and he thinks he won't be rolled up in an ICE raid. But he
He's
says,
gone,
I always
right?
have my ID with me because we had to do that in the DR, and so that's what I do. But you know what? You know what they don't care about? ID. We don't need no stinking ID.
Yeah.
And it's a problem until it happens to you,
yeah.
or it's
Right.
not a problem until it happens to you.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not.
Yeah, it's not a problem until you're the one who gets rolled up and thrown in the back of the van.
Hey, how about that Karen out in Wisconsin that threatened to call ICE on that dude, veteran of 2 wars?
Hey Tony, we can't see you. Oh, there you are.
Oh, hi, Tony.
What happened?
Hi.
to her?
Oh, there was her name was Shannon Kobylarczyk. She was at a Brewers game a couple weeks ago, and there was a gentleman rooting for the Padres. He was somewhat brown. She started out by insulting him, saying, "Real men drink beer, you pussy," and getting in his face.
Why? What
and
was he drinking? Red Ice Claw or White Claw?
I don't know. I didn't see the drink, but obviously it wasn't beer. But anyway, what finally culminated was she started saying, "I'll tell you what. Well, let's call ICE. Call ICE." And he's like, "Go ahead, call ICE. Go on." She got more insulted. She flipped him off, tried to take a physical swipe at him. He called her name. They both got ejected. But what happened is, Kobylarczyk, she got booted from Brewer Stadium for like good, and which broke her little right wing heart because now she can't see her favorite team play anymore, and she lost both her job as an attorney and her position at the Make a Wish Foundation. What do you know?
Yeah.
I got my wish.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's a thing that I don't know how widespread it is, but it should become in your arsenal. PSG WSP. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
prizes.
Ooh, like the Taylor Swift lyric.
No, she got it from somebody else. That
No,
she didn't make
she
it up.
invented that because she's a genius.
Well, she didn't.
Don't question Queen Tay.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, so what's our next topic?
A hot topic like the good store in the
No,
mall.
no.
Forever 21
is a good store.
So what do you have?
Forever
Didn't you have
21
something?
is good.
Oh, could we talk about the bombing of the boats in the Caribbean?
Yeah, that extrajudicial. You know what, Richard? I think you're smuggling drugs.
Where in his butt?
That's the evidence. Because you don't drive and you don't walk outside your house, and Mick takes you out on Fridays to get food. Therefore, you're smuggling drugs.
You ever experienced the smuggler's blues?
So you're saying what is assumed by what is seen?
It's based on flimsy or no evidence.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That ipso facto, if you're in a boat, clearly it's loaded with cocaine.
Must be. Yeah.
So what's the motivation of the government? Is it that they say they're protecting drug traffickers? They're getting rid of them. But what's the real motivation? Do you have a theory?
They're not white.
I think there are people who have given Trump campaign donations, saying Venezuela has tons of oil in it,
They were the founding member of OPEC.
and we are helping them drill it, but they're taking too much of a cut. We need to overthrow the government and put somebody in there who's more friendly to us.
But Maduro is what Dumb Donnie wishes he was, because Maduro absolutely cheated in his election, and the vice president of Venezuela now is a cartel leader. He's a cartel boss, died to rights. You know, it'd be like if Tukey before he got executed, if he was like the lieutenant governor of New York.
Yeah.
Stanley Washington Tukey was the founder of the Bloods, I think. Did he found the Crips?
Buki Williams, wasn't he? He's the Bloods.
Bloods, yeah, he
Yeah.
founded the Bloods, and it'd be like if he was, or like the lieutenant or the deputy mayor of L.A. You know, so yeah, that doing that. Well, it's like
do you think power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely? Do you think that?
Yeah, absolutely.
corruption
Why
is built
does
into
tell us
politics?
about why you don't
Washington
like
for people
Forever
too
21.
ugly for Hollywood. Just think of it that way. It's all show, and that these idiots kowtowing to Dumb Donnie, who is a demented old man, and says whatever the first thing that comes to his mind. The first thing that comes to his mind, you know, like he was bitching about Arctic frost, but you know what? That Operation Arctic Frost was under him. It wasn't under
President
Biden.
Trump
He can't even remember that from 3 years ago.
There we go. Trump posted
President-
some AI video of him
yeah.
dropping raw sewage on No Kings protesters. So
No, that was
White
just
House
his
press
diaper
secretary
comments.
fight your mom, the vice president last joke.
Well, that was the two. Yeah, that was both Caroline Levitt and Stephen Chung, who looks like one of the pinheads from Freaks and from 1932.
Of course,
He does. They both, when HuffPost said, who chose Hungary for this this meeting, and they both said your mom. How professional is that?
Right.
You know. But
Doesn't
Caroline
surprise me from Levitt, though.
Levitt, yeah, well, she pretty.
Does-
That's why
doesn't
she's in there.
surprise
So
me.
is
Yeah,
Lindsay
yeah, of
Halligan.
course.
they're pretty. None of them are.
Levitt does not
Are you gonna
surprise
date
me,
him?
though.
No.
Then you don't have a say.
I'll show you pretty.
Fair.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, what? There. Twice. They were on the Victoria's Secret fashion show, K-pop group.
They look like they're 15.
No, they're not. They're Asian. Asians always look younger.
Yeah, Asian.
Some of them are
well,
30.
You can't tell how old
32.
they are. Not that they always look
Yeah.
younger.
They've been
you
around.
can't tell
Twice
how.
has been
Right.
around for 10 years now. A bunch of the girls in the band are in their early 30s.
No, I've heard of them.
But I say that cultural dominance by the United States is waning, especially when you have someone like Dumb Donnie in charge. Who the hell wants to export or import this shit culture? I see so much stuff coming from Asia, especially Korea. A lot of stuff from Korea, Japan, Thailand, having a lot more influence here. And I think that they're eventually going to be the dominant cultural force.
I
And
don't know if it's
America's
still-
going to wane.
I don't know if it's still true, but I'd heard I read a stat about 2010 that said 10% of the people in Bangkok were professional sex workers.
Hey, I don't doubt that. It's promoted a lot.
Hey,
Do you think a sex worker is an important part of a healthy society?
I don't know if it's important or
I mean,
it's going to happen.
people have to make a living, and sometimes
Handmaidens.
sometimes you're thrown into that culture, whether it be by your friends or by some. You
Your
learn about it
family.
somehow.
What culture? What are you talking about?
Culture of
what?
sex workers.
Oh, sex workers. Okay.
You learn about it somehow, and then it's
not
like,
all about you.
It's like anything else. You if it works for you, and I can't really say anything. But I'm just saying, if it works for you, and you think it's safe, and you're being healthy, I mean, whatever.
Yeah, because with the whole incel movement, involuntary celibates, well,
Right.
sex workers, put them together, and then problem solved.
Rahab was a prostitute in Jericho, and she sided with the Israelites by protecting the spies that they sent into the city, and she was credited with faith for doing the right thing. And they said, just put a red cord out your window, and when we overtake the city, we won't kill you and your family, but everyone's got to be inside the house. So that's a biblical story about someone who was a prostitute who became part of the line leading to Christ.
Okay, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Prez.
Real quick, before we get next topic, I just want to take a second to wish Richard happy birthday.
Happy birthday, old
Happy
man.
birthday.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Yes, sir.
Happy hatching day.
Well, I sent him a text last night, so I said happy birthday.
You did.
Yeah. So now what's our next one?
Yeah, what are our next ones?
I had one and I forgot what it was.
Well,
guys,
Okay, here's a
We
topic.
welcome comments too, Hayes.
Welcome topic.
oh, how about why Sasha doesn't like Forever 21? There's a good topic.
Oh.
Yeah, we're
Right
still
on the
waiting to
screen there.
find out what she doesn't like about it. Do you happen to know that?
No, it's
Jason?
tell us
not.
what you don't like about
No,
it.
Momo from Twice is 32. Those girls are not 15. Of course, they look young, but Asian people always look younger. That's a cultural stereotype. And a lot of people use that against the K-pop performers. Like Sun Mi is like 35 and she's still making videos, and people think she's 20.
Well,
Not forever.
Well, are they portraying themselves as though they were underage?
well,
No,
that's the whole.
They're just portraying themselves as performers. They sing and
Yeah, they're
dance.
not-
really,
yeah.
and their lyrics are not about sexuality. They're more about empowerment and self-empowerment and things like that.
I recall a softcore porn movie on Skinamax where the guy says, "Oh, you're 23 now. You can't do the 18-year-old anymore. Now you got to do the MILF porn."
Oh, jeez.
And, you know, like it was a hard cutoff that not because you put enough makeup on, you can make them look younger. You know, even if you're 30 or you're 32.
So let's define what young is. Is like early 30s young? A lot of
I
those-
guess
a lot
it
of
depends
these
on
gamers
what.
are in their
I guess
early
it depends
30s.
on what age you are.
well,
It's all
If
relative.
I'm 40,
it's relative.
22 is young. Like,
well, what is the big difference in the majority of people between age 26 and age 34 of women? They have kids,
yeah.
and then that's really the deal breaker. Or not deal breaker, but that's the line.
I think that makes the maturity level go up too of a person.
Well, you can't just drop everything
Yeah.
and go.
Right.
You know, I was just thinking though. You know, you're all saying how K-pop they all look like they're 15, but you're the one that's still still off. You know, styling that hairdo there, flock of seagulls.
Flock of seagulls.
Oh, Jason has a flock of seagulls?
No, I need a haircut. I mean, I just brushed my hair. It's not no. Flock of Seagulls was there's no
They're
product.
great band.
No, they
I
weren't.
say were. People
No.
do not understand the Flock of Seagulls. They were actually a really great band musically. If you listen to their songs, like
Photograph.
Space Age Love Song.
Oh yeah.
That's a phenomenal song.
I agree there.
But
Great
that's-
album. Their album is amazing. Their first album. I have like 3 of their albums.
It was all right. I mean, you know, it
It's
wasn't
really well crafted. The bass player is really.
What's his
good.
name?
I don't know his name.
You're the music historian.
I am.
I was reading about Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Yeah.
I found out some interesting things. So Keith Emerson was in a band called The Nice, and he
Yeah.
said to his agent, he said, "I'm getting a little tired of this. I want more freedom. I want to be able to do things that nobody else is doing." And the agent said, "Well, why don't we just put together a supergroup?" And Keith Emerson said, "Well, what are you talking about?" And he said, "Find the musicians that you think would help your vision, and tell me about them, and I will see if they're willing to jump from whatever they're doing now." So he gave them 3 other people. So he gave them Greg Lake, who I think was with Atomic Rooster.
Oh, they're great.
And so he went to Greg Lake and he said, "You know, your band's really not going anywhere now, and I'm putting together a super group." Okay, so that thing. And then he put together Palmer, who was, I forgot, remember what band he was in?
Was he affiliated with King Crimson?
Yes, he was from King Crimson. And you know
Great
who the
band.
fourth
Robert
person
Palmer.
was? And when the agent went to him and he said, "I could really, we put this group together, you're going to be the headliner of the group. In fact, we're going to name the group after you."
Is it Eric Clapton?
He said, "If only you will give up your dream of like having your own band and coming over to this." And he could not persuade him. You know who that was?
Was it Clapton?
It was Jimi Hendrix.
Oh,
They were going to call the group Help.
Holy
Hendrix,
crap.
Emerson, Lake, and Palmer.
help!
Wow.
Wow.
So anyway, so Emerson, Lake, and Palmer, they became very, very famous. You know, sold a lot of records. It affected Keith Emerson's mind because when progressive rock fell out of favor, the audiences stopped coming. And on top of that, his hand started hurting him. Nevertheless, he was still touring and he was playing through the pain until the audiences started booing, saying, "You're not as good as you used to be," right? Jeering. You know what his reaction was?
Fuck off.
He decided to commit suicide. And that's how he died.
Wow.
When the audiences no longer loved him.
Yeah, that Vincent Van Gogh called.
That's the importance of
fucked
having
up,
the right
man.
priorities.
We're talking about music
Yeah.
right now. I want to get into this whole thing about people being young and too young to make music. What does that like? How about the Jackson 5? Were they too young to make music? But they were good.
Baby,
yeah,
give
they
me
were
one
good. And they
more
were very young.
chance.
So
Yeah,
what
they
is
were-
this whole thing with ageism and like,
Well-
oh, you're too young to do this or that?
well,
It,
what's
it
management?
depends if you're mixing underage with sexuality. Then it's like you're crossing a line, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
I mean, it was like Blue Ivy won a Grammy. What was she, 4 or 5?
Like people
Yeah.
criticize Jean Benet Ramsey, the teenage beauty queen.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
no, she was
She was
Preteen.
10.
She was 10. And they said, "You're not really selling beauty; you're selling sex, and you're only 10." So, is that a valid criticism?
I think, as far as
I think
I think those contests were kind of sick.
What comments?
No, those contests.
Oh yeah, they were. They are.
yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do with your management. What they're, if you have a ghostwriter, like what's being promoted at your age, Jackson 5. For example, they were all, fairly decently. Most of them were,
Well,
real
it
young.
sounded like I Want You Back. It's a
So,
love
like,
song.
what is the management pushing? How are they forcing you to live, to travel? Like, it's not just the music. It's all about how are they having them live.
image?
Were they around people drinking and smoking and sex workers? Not for them, but around that environment.
Well, but that's the thing. The worst thing about the Jacksons was their father.
Oh yeah, Joe.
Well, I just mean people in the industry that of that age and
But
period.
what I mean,
yeah.
I mean is, that they didn't have all that. They didn't sexualize the Jacksons.
Yeah.
That they wore identical beige
yeah.
costumes.
Bright red.
I agree.
white,
Well, I
like-
just mean anyone in the industry of that age, like you don't know who they're around and who their management or even parents are allowing them to be around.
That
That's
reminds
a
me
way
of a
different-
joke from David Letterman from 1982. He said, Roman Polanski said he's now dating a 42-year-old woman. Polanski said, in my eyes, she's equal to 3 14-year-olds.
Oh, jeez. Oh,
So I don't think they sexualized Shirley Temple.
Right,
I don't think they
I remember
sexualized
Shirley
Judy
Temple.
Garland.
right.
right.
So there
Shirley
are
Temple,
stars that are
wow.
not portrayed as sex
Shirley
objects who are
Temple.
young. But
Yeah.
I tend to disagree with Vanessa. I think that this band that Vanessa just showed is sexualized.
Yeah, look at the way they're look at the way they're
Because they're
dressed.
pretty.
Well, but also,
That's fashion.
Are you serious?
No,
Look at
what
the way
about
they're
They
that-
shouldn't
what
dress
about-
like that. Why shouldn't they dress
They're
like
half
that?
naked, some
No,
of
they're
them.
not. What, you want to look like handmaidens?
you don't
How
have
is
to
that half
stop
naked?
yelling.
They're fully clothed. I mean, look
at
they
the-
got
Look at the
their breasts are
position of their
covered.
body.
You are
Okay.
very
This is
emotional.
making my
Stop
ears
yelling.
bleed.
At the position.
The
of
way their
body.
bodies are positioned, she's in her bra. You know what I'm saying?
That's because it's the
See,
Victorian
as-
Secret
so
fashion
that's not
show.
sex-
Sasha said you could tell that
No,
they're young.
hold on. They're at the Victoria's Secret fashion show, so they're showing off the Victoria's Secret fashions. That's why they're dressed like this. They're not always dressed
Yeah,
like this,
but
but
you-
this is a Victoria's Secret show. They're in their 30s, so yeah, they're going to
But,
dress like that.
Nancy Olson
Okay.
from
it's fashion.
It's
Oh,
money.
I'm sure it is, but it's
Fashion.
sexualized fashion.
Nancy
money.
Olson from Sunset Boulevard
it's
is
money?
still alive. She's the last
saying
star
that?
from the golden age of Hollywood. She played Joe's girlfriend in Sunset Boulevard, and when he goes with Norma Desmond, she says, "Joe, I can't see you anymore," and just goes. She's still alive 75 years later. Those actresses didn't have to be sexualized because a bunch of them found like at a ice cream fountain, at the deli, at the commissary. I don't know how much of these K-pop stars have individual talent or how much they're engineered. That if they could sing
You follow like
a
me, you would
cappella,
know. Oh, they can.
She Howard.
which I've never seen.
I
I-
have. There's videos.
Sasha's getting in on this.
Hey, what the heck is this whole
Thank
thing?
you, Sasha.
I think that
Thank you.
No, this whole thing about being sexualized is a myth. Sexuality is a part of human existence.
Which
so
I said.
why shouldn't people express that if that's part of what they're going to express?
Well, sexuality, or how about
What about
titillation?
faithfulness and devotion to your spouse?
What the hell's that have to do with pop music?
Interesting.
We're not talking.
Yeah,
we're talking about
Sasha, of course
sexuality
there.
and what.
Oh,
Well,
Like, look, I just heard on the radio something that I found interesting. There was a pastor that had this young man come to him and said, I'm really having trouble controlling myself. I don't know what to do." The guy said, "Go find a wife and have as much as you want. And he says, I'm not ready to have a wife. He says, yes, your body's telling you you are ready to have a wife, so you should do that.
Now, there's an interesting TV series called Fargo.
Yeah.
And in one of the episodes, a town is so small that even when you have marital problems, you go to the sheriff.
Okay.
Like they don't even have family court or anything like that.
okay.
So this marital couple goes, and he says, "Well, meet me at the diner because I always eat breakfast there." So they meet him at the diner,
Okay.
and he says, "Now, what seems to be the problem?" And the man says, "I can't get my wife to behave, and she's got a black eye."
Oh.
And he looks at her and he says, "Young lady, it is your job as the woman in the marriage to keep the marriage together." And then he looks at the man and he says, "And sir, if I ever find out that you hit her again, you will disappear without a trace and no one will find you."
What does that have to do with what I said?
Yeah. Oh, well, because you were saying that being faithful to your husband
Oh, your wife,
or your wife, yeah, your spouse.
your spouse, yes.
Yeah. What about that? Aren't those values promoted anymore?
Right,
As
they're not-
opposed to
What you made me do?
sexualizing women.
The heck are you even talking about? Like,
We're talking about the comparison of
all
moral-
marriage now is glorified dating with the ease of divorce and stuff. It's not even really a real thing. People still
But that-
want to believe it's the real thing because they don't want to give up their old
I know someone that's going to
long-held
be married
myths,
60
but-
years next week.
See if Howard comments on
2
this.
weeks.
If marriage today was a movie, I'd be able to hear the sound of the director getting up and leaving. Okay, what you said.
Yeah. What he said.
Is there anything that's true? Because
He ran
everything's
so far
a
away.
myth to you. Everything's a myth to you. So what's a truth? Because everything you say is a myth.
Yeah.
No.
It's a hoax. You sound just like Dumb Donnie.
You say he's a conspiracy
don't.
theorist. I
How the
think they
fuck
both
do
are.
I sound like dumb Donnie.
You're saying everything's a myth.
A lot of things are myth.
Vanessa, are you opposed to marriage?
I don't know.
See, I would have thought you would have said yes immediately, but apparently not.
Yeah, you don't get to say I don't know. You got to formulate
I
a
get
thought.
Well, think about it for a minute and we'll come back to it because I think it's an
Yeah, that'll be a waste of
important
time if you sit. Wait for me to come up with, analyze all that right now.
No, analyze it.
Like anal pudding.
What else do you got for pictures? Vanessa, what other pictures you have?
Oh, what other pictures? I'm also gonna look at some of the good pictures from the No Kings protest.
Save
There's
our
someone-
society.
Handmaid Tales woman. That's what everybody wants women to be now. Seems on both sides.
What did her sign say?
What
Save
her
our-
sign say? It says
Society.
that one says "Save Our Society." The one I got to see if we have another picture of the handmaid woman to see what her sign on her back said.
What was beautiful about
Well,
the
I
No
think
Kings
both sides-
rally is
Oh,
they
there she
invited
is.
all the costumers. Like they're building a coalition, which I think is great.
And that's why the picture, unfortunately, we didn't get it because
You want
I
this?
sent it too late. No, not that one. Because
A little higher than kites.
it showed 2017 Trump's inauguration. The 2025,
No Kings.
it's empty. No, it's empty. And then No Kings is almost like the Vietnam protest from '72 in D.C. You know, where there's not a clean spot anywhere. Whereas, oh, it's huge. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
What's huge? What's beautiful?
Anything.
The president, the guy who lies about everything, he says it's huge, it's beautiful. That's what he says all the time. Every fucking thing in the world is beautiful. And he says there's
Yeah.
so many people there. There was nobody there.
Everything's the best, and everything's
There's an interesting political cartoon about that where the Trump is saying, "Look, how important is crowd size anyway?"
Yeah.
Interesting, huh? That was always so
I
important
have
to
a
him.
close friend that was always talking about how Trump is for America and Americans.
The hell he is. He's for
He's for money.
Argentina.
But he's for
money.
He's for,
He
he's
gave
for,
40
I remember
billion to
80%
Argentina.
of the protesters were
Wait a
paid.
Sal,
second,
let
wait a
us
second.
talk.
Yeah. He supports multi types of vehicles. The Democratic Party's been pushing for electric vehicles and making everything electric based, which I think is stupid. And basically, my friend is a motorhead and he loves his gas powered vehicles. So
Ergo electric is stupid.
You like to roll
electric
coal?
isn't completely stupid. It's just that it shouldn't be the only thing.
Well,
What about gas vehicles that put carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, which affects the air we breathe?
But
Right,
plants
that's
turn that
true.
into oxygen, don't they?
I have a question.
When
It
did
might
But to
Plants-
produce electricity,
Yeah, fire
you might
away.
have to start coal plants to to generate the electricity. So what are you really
Brian.
doing?
Yeah, I
Well,
have a
which
question. It
puts
might
out
be
more.
sensitive,
Yeah.
but what is everyone's thought on this shutdown?
It happens, and it's just see, because I have a strong opinion on this. That piece of shit Johnson saying that I can't stand that it's a violation of the Hatch Act, which was from 1939. It wasn't Orrin Hatch from Utah. It was before him. That you can't politicize the business, and saying this is shut down because of Democrats. That's bullshit for
It
one,
is.
and for
Yeah.
two, that you know who benefits more than anyone else from the subsidies for Obamacare? People in red states. So they are playing a gamesmanship, a brinksmanship, because when November 1st comes around, they're going to get a bill for 27 grand. Oh, that's what they estimate it'll cost for a year is $27,000 for a
Wow.
family of four.
Mr. Windsor, unplug and replug from the Symmetrics. See if you can give us both
Yeah,
channels
we lost-
back.
Yeah, I hear like
I'm
it's all
only
garbage.
stereo.
Yeah, I can hear the
Yeah,
different sound.
it sounds good to me.
It's all mono in mine.
So that's why this shutdown, but that piece of shit, Dumb Donnie, is taking every opportunity. Like somebody enriching himself left, right, and center. You know, I mean,
It's unnecessary, especially for the little guy. Like, it's not fair to. We were talking about that on the way here, Sal and I.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't know if you guys can hear me. My headphones.
I
are
can hear
weird.
you fine.
I can hear you.
It's not fair to the little guy. You got. So they want to spend all this money on the abortions and whatnot. The Republicans are fighting that. Why do we have to pay for that as a people? That's not fair. It doesn't compute in my brain.
I mean, abortions and immigration.
Yes,
medical.
medical. Yeah, it doesn't compute in my brain that we're paying for it.
Well, why should we pay $40 billion to Argentina and import their beef?
I'm not saying we should,
Thank
but
you.
I'm saying the shutdown in general is ridiculous. For Argentina, abortion, I'm not saying any of it's right. It's all wrong. I'm saying the shutdown because of it is not fair to us.
Indeed.
Okay, I'd like to comment on that.
Sure, fire away.
For an entire year, the Democrats said to the Republicans, look, so let's sit down and negotiate because this, what you call your big, ugly bill,
Yeah,
Beautiful.
whatever it is. Yeah,
it's hurting working people.
Yeah.
So let's negotiate a way that we can both agree on a better thing. And Republicans said, we're
Yeah.
not talking to you. So now we have the government shutdown, and Republicans are saying, look, reopen the government, and we'll sit down and talk to you.
Yeah.
Would you trust them?
Nope.
No,
I
they don't.
wouldn't.
I
would
Well,
trust
why
the
don't
Democrats.
One
I
of the
would
Republican
trust- I would
senators said
trust
that.
the
You know, if
I
you said
wouldn't
that
trust
to me,
either one of
I
them
wouldn't
right
trust you either.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust me either.
I
And,
don't trust either party right now.
But what gets me is
Or should you?
the Senate was called the most deliberative body in the world. But then you have Mark Wayne Mullen with his stupid name, stupid Okie, stupid shit, the only senator without a bachelor's degree. I'm not saying that's the end-all, be-all, but he had a good plumbing supply place,
Okay.
King Flush. But the thing is, during a Senate hearing with the Teamsters boss, he threatened the guy to a fist fight. You know what they don't do in the Senate?
Fist fight.
Fist fight. There's a thing called the mace that they present the mace, and when you see it, you shut your hole because you know the next step is you're not going to get beat with the mace, but they're going to bounce you out. You have to. Civilized discussion does not involve whipping somebody with a cane or punching them in the face.
Right.
Might does not make right if you're not in wartime. But
Or unless you're God.
that's not even in the
God's gonna
equation.
use a stick.
That means God has a different moral standard than humans.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, when was the last time you saw God?
Can you believe
right now.
that?
Last time I had shrooms.
It's okay if God does it, but if you're a human, you cannot do it.
Yeah, that it is for thee, but not for me.
Do as he says, not as he does.
And so,
No,
yeah,
God
I think
does-
that the shutdown is, well, it's all, what was at the end of Tomorrow Never Dies? Give the people what they want. And so the Republicans are getting hammered because people think it's the Republicans' fault. And, it's all about the polls because it's whatever is getting reelected. That's all you want to do. Even if spending $100 million today will cost $1 billion 2 years from now, as long as I get reelected, immediately right now. Because in the microcosm of politics, down in Grenada,
Some of it has to be that because you can't- some of it has to be that.
down
Not all of
in
it.
shh, we don't interrupt each other.
Okay.
That in Grenada was small. They only had 15 people in their Senate. But there was the people that said, we have to invest and it'll take time to show. And the other ones say, like Vanessa, it's all good. It's all good. Spend the money now. And
On what are you talking about?
Yeah,
and,
what
and
is
what
that
they
about?
in their the people that get elected by being populist and just saying spend all the money now, even though it's going to hurt them a year later.
I don't understand what your point there was in
Howard's
regards
watching.
to me.
I think about that in terms of
Because
my
you
life.
go overreact and everything is perfect and phenomenal, and no name bands that if they're so great, why didn't
No
they
name
send a
band.
letter?
I was talking about twice Sabrina Carpenter,
huge and
Chapel
beautiful?
Row, and they're all like well known.
Yeah,
That's
what
not
about
unknown.
Atomic Lobster? You said
Atomic Rooster had like 5 records. Anyone
And-
who knows psychedelic rock knows Atomic Rooster. They were on Elektra Records. Big label. You don't know Atomic Rooster?
nope.
No.
I can't even name one song by them. I don't even know what they sound like.
I never even heard that. Yeah.
They're great. Go look them up.
Are they like a polka?
Huh?
Polka?
Polka. Yeah,
Are they
yeah.
polka?
Lil Wally.
Just
Who
the
stole
sound of it
Kishka?
sounds polka. I don't know.
Did you steal the Kishka? Put it back on the rack.
Yeah.
You stole the Kishka, didn't you?
I guess.
now what the hell are you
I don't know
talking
what the hell
about?
you're babbling
Who
about.
stole the Kishka? The best
the
damn
fuck is
song
a
ever.
Kishka?
But that-
Oh, blood sausage.
Better than the Long and Winding Road. Okay,
That
yeah, the
band
best
just-
song ever.
That band
Long
just
and
sounded
Winding
polka. That's why I
showed.
said
You don't
that.
like. Hey, everybody knows who stole the Kishka. You know that, don't you, Tony?
We
From
got
Dingus
4
Day?
minutes left,
the
so
polka.
we got, let's.
What the fuck is a
Are you
Kishka?
okay right
It's
now?
a blood sausage.
That's
that,
what I-
that Polacks eat. And I'm a Polak, so I can say
Okay,
that.
yeah, because me too.
And so is he. I think. Who isn't? Who here isn't
I'm Italian.
Polish?
I'm
You're
Italian.
100% Italian?
I'm Italian too, but I'm
Like
Polish
70.
as well.
Because I'm half Scots-Irish and half Polish.
Scott.
I am
I'm
not
Scottish, German, and Italian.
What's your connect? You're all Italian?
Half Italian and English, and I'm either French Canadian or Irish.
Yeah, how do you confuse those two?
Because I always thought I was Irish because that's what I heard.
You
when
drink
I was
a lot?
young.
He doesn't drink at all.
No. No, and then
Green beer.
my niece did some genealogy, and she said she found out that my mom was her mom or her dad was French Canadian.
'Cause
Quebecois?
my mother believed for most of her life that
Quebecois.
her grandfather, her father's father, who's from Scotland, was an Australian drum major. And then my uncle said, no, he was a guy that was murdered when he was 23 because he liked married women. So in Scotland, a grieved husband killed him. So he had, I don't know how many kids he had, including my grandfather, because he died 4 months after I was born.
Oh.
But, history is full of these things, and questions. My spouse says something about there was in a will that read, and Kathleen, for reasons we all know, but nobody knows what are those reasons. Did she marry a Jew or a black guy, or did she had a
Yeah.
kid out of wedlock? But for reasons we all know. History is full of that. That's why I say
Yes.
never do the ancestry stuff. Never do it. because
not?
You're going to find out stuff you don't want to know.
Oh, I've
Yeah,
heard
I've
all
heard
kinds of
that.
fun
I haven't
stuff.
done it, but I've heard that.
It's
Yeah.
great. I
But being
love it.
Italian is an amalgamation of a lot of different countries because there's always all the wars going through Italy. And
Sure.
there's been the change in cultures and everything in Italy.
Mediterranean. Iranian,
how about
Sicilian.
Yeah.
the Dutch, the women who had their head shaved and they carved a swastika in their head for having relations with the Germans?
Okay.
Yeah, that was a thing that was in World War II.
Yeah, after World War II.
No, during. That was
Oh,
during.
during? Okay.
Yeah. And that's what it is. That because people are people before they're Germans, before they're Americans.
Yeah.
Depeche Mode?
Amen.
Well, I look at that from a positive aspect because I want to look at people as people first and what they're what they do as being secondary. Because if you look at them as secondary, you can get involved with all the hate and
But
Agreed.
But if you, what they are is what they are. You can't separate those out. What they do is who they are because
if you
they
do
don't,
that, if you do that, like it's taught as a peer specialist that you're a person who has schizophrenia, you're not a schizophrenic.
I was born in a pumpkin patch.
I get what he's saying.
My studio?
What it is, you're saying your illness doesn't make you who you are.
Correct.
Nice.
except what if you do
nice.
crazy shit that makes you who you are? I
For
mean,
part
Well,
of
you're
the time,
it,
that's
maybe it
how
makes
who
what
I
you're.
am.
I think maybe it,
Define crazy shit.
it makes your
screaming and
actions,
yelling
but-
in the street, throwing bricks through windows, saying there's puddles of blood everywhere, you can't go there, beating somebody up. All things that I've seen.
My brother.
Right.
No,
I agree with the press, though. Every person has the power to identify themselves.
yeah.
Remember that woman who was in charge of the black organization and
Oh,
they
yeah.
researched Rachel
Yeah, Rachel
Dolezal.
Dolezal.
And they discovered, you don't really have black blood in your family. But all this time she was saying she's an African American. Well, everybody has a right to identify themselves.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Who is co-opting if you're living the life? You know what I mean? If you're walking the walk, who's co-opting? You know? I mean, it's like they say, you can't you can't become a Hindu and you can't become a Jew, really. But like, what's her name? Tulsi Gabbard actually is a converted Hindu. But really, those are ones that either you're born into it or you're not,
Right.
mostly. Okay, last 10 seconds. Anybody
God
have
bless
anything to
everybody.
say? And thanks for all your release you from the prison that is no exit experience. Have a great